So for this challenge, we will be talking about let and const, which are how we rename our variables. And what we mentioned is variables is more like storing data. How can we store certain data for this case? So in this challenge, what we are practicing is declaration of variables using the let and constant keywords. Check out the attached details more. So the task is declare a constant called variable, which is pi, and assign it to a value math.pi. You will not pass this challenge unless a variable is declared as constant and named pi in uppercase. So that's the first thing. So the first thing is we will define first of all our function as pi, which is equals to math.pi. So why do we use math.pi? These are methods or some of the utilities that are available in JavaScript that are pre-built, which makes you not defining as math.pi as 3.142, but making you aware of defining that. The next is read a number, which is R, denoting the radius of a cycle from std. Std is just from like an input. Somebody inputs an R. And then use pi and R to calculate the area and the perimeter of the radius. Print area as the first line of the output and print this as the second line. So yeah, so the second one is print this. So we'll just say like constant area is equals to maybe blah blah. We'll just be doing that, and then we'll be doing constant perimeter to be this, and then what we'll be doing is just like printing them, which is log. We'll log perimeter, and then we'll log area. So one of the things that we need to know is how do we define or how do we do an area of a cycle? Area of a cycle. Anybody? Area of a cycle formula? Is it half? Is it pi? What? It's pi. I think it's pi times. Is it times the radius? The radius, which is r, times r, which is r square. So it's just r times r. I think that is the formula for doing that case. And then the formula for perimeter, I think the function for perimeter is, it will be 2 times pi, which we have defined our pi, times our radius. So the next thing that we need to know, so this is how you just do a formula. If you are given a formula, that's why like sometimes having a domain perspective when doing a calculation, somebody gives you a mathematical concept, so you need to translate them to code. Is it multiplication? Is it subtraction? Is it division? Is it rounding off? So understanding that. So the one of the problem here that tells us is we need to read the number r from std. So reading it from we were given even the formulas here. I was trying to remember them. So 2 times pi times r, and this is pi times r square, which is r times r for our case. So so for this case, so for reading std in JS, was it the function how to read this? Is it read line, something like that? Let me just try. So here is input read line. So we'll use something called a read line to read. So we'll just do is we'll just say constant r is equals to read line. So I think that's what we'll use for this case. Yeah, so for this case I'll try to run my code. I don't know
Actually, I have read. Okay, yeah. So we'll read the line of our R, which is the radius. So that's another function or inbuilt functions for JavaScript that we'll be learning as more. There are many of them, so you will not exhaust them. So we'll be learning more as we go in. So this one just reads a content, or like reads a number that is provided from a command line or somebody typing. So that's why we get our R. So it is not being passed as a parameter for now. So it's read, and then for pi we are using the method or the predefined built-in function or method called pi to define our function. And then for the area, we have been given its pi times the radius square, and then for the perimeter is 2 pi times our radius.